Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Becky and I make videos all about charity shop shopping and secondhand style and vintage clothes and wearing what you love, which is the most important thing. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider sticking around and subscribing. I'd love it and it would mean a lot to me, so thank you very much. This week's video is a bit of a treat because we're going thrifting somewhere different. We are going to go to Cornwall and we're going to check out two locations, Bodmin and Launceston, and we're going to check out all of the charity shops that I can find. So without further ado, let's get going. Let's start in Cornwall Hospice Care. This is in Bodmin. This shop was amazing. It had a big floor when you first walk in full of clothes, and then out the back they had all of the home decor, and look at that ceiling, it was amazing. Home decor, kids section, that kind of thing. So I did venture out the back, but I spent most of my time looking at all of the clothes. I love this jumper. The sleeves were crazy long, but I suppose you would roll them up. It was really beautiful. I was drawn to the rainbow colours. I also wanted to point out this top. I remember these mesh tops being really popular a couple of years ago. And now, of course, as trends move on, they're starting to make their way into the charity shops. This top also caught my eye because it was very thick, very heavy and very textured. It was a really good quality top, and I have actually got a skirt by Great Plains, which I love. Your home, quite frankly, deserves more. This shop was really well organised. They organised everything by colour, by size and by category as well. So it's really easy to find something if you were looking for something in particular. My only regret from this shop was that I didn't think more carefully about this set. It was a top and a skirt set from Viella. It was vintage, it had beautiful pattern, lovely colours, and it just didn't sing to me at the time, but looking back, I feel kind of bad that I didn't buy it actually. Oh well, I could have styled it up into something amazing, but such is life. Next I moved on to cancer research and spotted this amazing scale set in their home decor. Moving on to the clothes and shoes, I found these boots and they were a size too small. I was very disappointed. They're by Land's End, which is a lovely brand, and they were £15, but someone else will have a real bargain there. I also picked out these two skirts that I wanted to show you. This one's £3.50 and it was originally from Sainsbury's. I love the fuzzy texture and obviously the animal print is always a win with me. And then I saw this one, which was from Marks and Spencer's originally. I really liked the pattern. It reminded me a bit of Gucci and it was only £4, the size too small sadly. Next I moved on to Cornwall Air Ambulance. This shop was huge. They had a huge section for shoes, which was amazing, although sadly none of them fit me. A whole floor dedicated to clothes, and it was really big. And then downstairs is furniture, which I'll show you shortly. I found this dress. The dress is lined, but it was very thin. So I thought because it felt like a summer dress, and we're obviously in autumn at the moment, moving into winter, I left it. But £6 for a really nice little neutral summer dress. That was pretty good. The dress behind it is from Reese, £12 for a lacy, neutral dress. I thought that was lovely too, very pretty. Top tip, I am seeing these 90s suits everywhere and they are really cheap. People aren't buying them, but if you can find a way to style them that works for you, you can have loads of vintage suit sets and just rock them. So keep an eye out, have a think about how you could style them and whether they'd work for you, because honestly you can get some right bargains at the moment. I found this lovely Phase 8 denim dress. I'm steering clear of denim dresses because I always end up donating them. They don't stay long in my wardrobe, but they look great on other people. I also saw this red and black Winsmore dress. Look at the buttons down the front. Really striking. Not for me, sadly, but you know, someone will have a bargain with that. This feels like a really good option if you're going out for the day when it's winter and you want to dress quite sparkly. That would be good, over the top of a shirt or something. Nice bit of bling. This was my favourite dress, very vintage, from Carnegie of London. £8, and I love the colour, I love the cut, I love the buttons down the front, everything about it, but the material was just a bit too rough sadly, so I left it. As I was about to go downstairs, this Country Casuals cardigan caught my eye and I really loved the pattern on it and the colours. I think it's beautiful. It was lovely and soft and really thick, but it was a bit bobbly. Now I know you can get tools to get rid of bobbles, but I don't have one, so I left it for somebody else. And then I went downstairs to check out their furniture section. Beautiful, beautiful old bed. I think it's oak, really gorgeous. And also this unit, which I thought was stunning. It was £65 and I don't need it, and I couldn't have taken it home anyway because I was far from home at this point, but really beautiful. 3 glass jars, very similar to the set I already have. Something I noticed in all of the charity shops I went in Bodmin and Launceston, there were tea sets everywhere. Next, I went for a long walk and went to Pre-Loved, Reloved. This was an absolute treasure trove of gorgeous finds. And to be honest, they had so much that my brain became a bit overwhelmed. And looking back over the footage, I've seen quite a few things that I would like to have investigated further. But as I say, there was so much there. It was like a sensory overload. And so sadly, I didn't buy anything from here, but if you're in the area, I'd really recommend giving it a look. It was beautiful. They had all sorts of lovely home decor. So I've just finished in the Pre-Loved, Reloved shop, and it's really lovely in there, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to have clothes. So I thought it was going to be full of vintage clothes, so sadly it wasn't. I'm now sat here in pretty windy and slightly drizzly weather. I'm going to go back to the car park and get my lift, and there's one more place to go. I found this outlet shop. It's a charity shop, but it's a big outlet. They do they take donations, but they also have a big kind of outlet side of it, so I'm going to go and see. In my head I've got that it's going to be like the big American thrift stores. Could be setting myself up for a massive fail here, but I'm quite excited to go and have a look because it's something different, something I haven't been to before. So let's go and try that out now. So the final shop in Bodmin before we went to Launceston was Cornwall Hospice Care. And as I said, this was a donation centre, but they also had a bit of a charity shop at the side. So I went in, and as you can see, they've got loads of things in here. And I spent some time happily rummaging through. They had a whole range of things. They had home decor, they had shoes, they had clothes, they even had DVDs and books. And I think this is where they put everything before they actually take it out to the shops. So you can have a really good look through. None of these shoes fit me, sadly, but I did find an absolutely gorgeous pair from Anne Klein. The pointed toe is something I could only dream of getting my feet into, but I thought they were stunning. Also saw this Laura Ashley skirt. The lace caught my eye. I thought that was very beautiful, very classy, and only £3.50. They had a whole range of bedding sets and some very beautiful vintage style, but not actually vintage fabric. But as you will know from previous videos, I have enough fabric at the moment, so I'm not buying any more, but a really good price. So by this point, I was feeling quite disheartened because I'd seen things that I liked, but nothing that really stood out and made me think, yes, I love that, I can see me wearing it all the time. It's not the end of the world if you don't buy something, of course, but I was feeling a bit deflated by this point. But then we went to Launceston. I got some lovely, lovely, lovely stuff, which I'll show you in a second. I didn't film anything in Launceston, and the reason for that is because I went in 3 charity shops, and the first one, I bought some really bulky things, and then in the second one, I bought some really bulky things, so I was kind of laden down with bags, and it was just nigh on impossible to film. So it is what it is, but let's get into what I got. One of the things I bought is something I absolutely love, and I'm so glad that I spotted it, so I can't wait to show you that. Let's get into it. Oh my god, this is one of the heavy ones. So first up, this is a duvet cover, and it is the most gorgeous, luxurious duvet cover I've ever seen. So you can see the colour palette, it's gold, it's quite textured, I think it's quite old, it looks a little bit worn, but it's got these really beautiful muted oranges and lighter gold swirls on it, lots of flowers all over it. It's really heavy. I mean, I can obviously lift it, but look at this, it's massive, it's absolutely massive. And it's trimmed with, oh, I literally poked myself in the face with a coat hanger then. That's not how I want my life to end. It's got this really beautiful trim all around the edge, which I think is really lovely. Now, whilst I'm tempted, because I think it is a king size, whilst I'm tempted to keep it and use it as a duvet cover, there is a much larger part of me that wants to cut it up into clothes. Now, if you've seen any recent videos, you know I'm starting to hoard fabric and I need to actually start sewing something. So this, I think, would make an absolutely beautiful dress. So I'm gonna need to have a look on Pinterest and try and find some really simple but striking dresses that I can make with this, because I think this would be fabulous. Absolutely adore the colour palette. It's gold, it's red, it's orange. Oh, it's lovely. So I got this from Oxfam, and if memory serves correctly, it was only £3, which is an absolute bargain. So one thing I didn't show you is that this side is very, very ornate, really beautiful. And then the other side is just the plain cotton. Maybe I could use it for lining or bias, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, so I've got loads of fabric to play with, and I'm really looking forward to doing something. I promise I will start sewing soon, because I'm really looking forward to sewing something and showing you. Rather than saying, here's more fabric, and then gradually I just kind of drown in fabric because there's so much of it. But I will get around to doing something soon. I've got a few projects that I'm planning, and I am going to share those with you, so I'm looking forward to that. Right, on to the next item. This, bear in mind everything I've just said, this is more fabric, but look, it's fabulous. So they're curtains, they are pretty hefty. I mean, there's a lot of fabric there. They are absolutely beautiful, and the reason I was drawn to them is because I already have this fabric, just a small amount, and I was planning to do something pretty with it, or maybe use it for patches on a quilt. However, I've got so much of it now that I can make more. I have more opportunities, which is great. And it also came with, oops, with these little tie backs as well, if I do want to continue using them as curtains. So the little piece of fabric that I bought a couple of videos ago was £2. All of this was £5. And I looked online, you can actually buy these on eBay because people are selling them, but they're a lot more than £5. So I am so thrilled. Ah. But as I say, it's just more fabric to add to the stash. So I really, really do need to start doing something with them. My head's full of ideas. I just need to bring them to fruition. Rubbing my hands like some sort of Bond villain. Beckie Bond. I'm sure you already got that. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, possibly the most comfortable item of clothing I own. Yes, it's a onesie with a hood. So it's a Christmas onesie. I have been wearing it already because why wouldn't you wear something super comfortable to bed when you can? It's made of a really, really lovely soft fleecy material. It has the aforementioned hood, has a zip all the way down and cuffs around the ankle. So keeps me really nice and warm, and it's quite lightweight, but it is snug. It's really fabulous just to wear around the house. Obviously I wear it at bedtime, I don't just, okay, who am I kidding? I have worn it during the day. It's amazing, I love it. And it was only £5, which I think is a real bargain. I have really struggled to find a onesie for years, purely because I've got a long body, so you know, there's certain tension in the fabric in places where you don't want that. That's far too much information, I'm so sorry. I'm really happy to report this fits beautifully. I'm super comfortable in it. That's all that matters. I haven't brought out the Christmas jumpers yet, but I am rocking the Christmas onesie because it's fabulous and I love it. So we're on to the final piece, and this is possibly my favourite thing I've ever thrifted, and I don't say that lightly. I absolutely adore this. Ooh. Right. It's from Marks & Spencer's because I love thrifting stuff from Marks & Spencer's. I'm going to hold up the pattern first, have a look at this. It's really beautiful. Very Christmassy actually to me. And it is, drumroll, the most amazing dressing gown I've ever owned in my life. Now why am I excited about a dressing gown, you might rightly ask. I'm very tall, and so they're generally not long enough for me because I've always dreamt of having a full length dressing gown. This one is so long, it actually says long on the label. It fits beautifully. It's a couple of sizes larger than I actually am, but it fits really snugly around the waist. So I don't know if it's a vintage one or not, but it's warm, it's soft. The colour palette and pattern are to die for. I'm so happy, and the best thing is I got it for £3, so it was really, really fabulous. I was incredibly lucky. Let's try it on. I thought I'd just show you what it looks like on, so let me take off my smoking jacket and put on my dressing gown. The funniest thing is, I was always thinking, could I style it? Like, could I remove the fabric belt and put a proper belt in there and then style it as a really funky like, shirt, coat kind of thing? I don't know if I can, but look at the length, it's fabulous. It's really, yeah, you can see hopefully, it's really long. The sleeves are a great length. It fits perfectly around the waist, there's no fabric bunching. Oh, and it's got pockets as well, I'd forgotten about that. So yeah, I just feel so snug. I think the only thing it's missing is a hood, but I'm really, really happy to compromise on that. I think it's fabulous. I can't stop saying that word. I feel so warm, I feel so comfortable. It fits beautifully, the length is amazing. I love the colour, I love the pattern, I love the feel of it. Oh, very happy with this one. As the nights are drawing in and the weather is getting colder and colder, the most important thing for me is to be comfortable and to be warm, and I'm going to be that in these things, so I'm really happy. So thank you so much for coming to Cornwall with me, and we went on our little thrifting trip. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!